welcome to the TFL Talk Show. We are here with some new guests. Ryan Perkins to my left here, Ryan Chell to my right, and Adam Smith over here. All of them rookies in the TFL this year. Huge year. Expectations are high for all of them.
Gonna be huge.
Huge. And we're going to start off with doing some NFL comparisons to the TFL players. And you know what, Chell, you have that list on your phone, right?
I do.
Yeah. Go ahead and pull that one out. Yeah, it's unbelievable. But Chell's going to go ahead and just name those for us, and we're going to give a little description of what we think.
Yeah, you want me to name the players?
Yeah, hey, go ahead and just go through the list.
Hey, first player comp we got from my boy Grant Norman is Zach Wilson. Second player comp, Cal, would be Mike Evans. Jackson Turnwald would be Trevor Lawrence. Jared is Jerry Judy. Gabe is good old Brandon Ayuk. We got Brandon as CMC. Braden
at
Braden.
CMC. Dude, is this amateur hour?
It is.
We're rookies.
We're rookies. Yeah, I'm a rookie. What do you expect from me? Timmy is good old prime Big Ben. Adam is Carson Wentz with those shaky ankles.
It's true.
Ryan Perkins over here is prime Julio Jones.
That's tough.
Kelson is. Did I put that one down right? Oh yeah. Kelson is Antonio Brown, the Bucks version.
Important difference.
There's a very big difference.
We'll get into that later.
Israel is Johnny Manziel.
Money, baby.
Lucas is Hunter Renfro, and you know who Andrew Luck is always looking for. Your boy Chell is Jack Doyle. He's always looking for Jack Doyle. So those are the player comps we got right now. We're going to go through those in a little more depth here and kind of explain why we have each of these players comped who they are.
Yeah, I'd love to break this down. When I look at Grant Norman, I really look at somebody who lives to be a frat boy. And when I think about the NFL guys, who would be the frattiest of all quarterbacks? It's got to be Zach Wilson. Does it not? It's got to be Zach Wilson. I mean, did you see his mom on draft night?
Oh gosh, that entire family.
I mean, look, it's got to be the most accurate comparison. I think about a pretty boy. I think about somebody who probably doesn't like to be hit. He doesn't like to be, too physical. Okay, that's what I think when I think about Grant Norman. And in my opinion, coming next, the Callan Wood NFL comp has got to be the most accurate player comp, I would say, of any of these players. I mean, you think about Mike Evans. He's a big body. He's a big frame. You think about Callan Wood. He's a physical guy. Now we'll see how Cal fares against some new defenders. Okay, in the league, we'll see how he does. We'll see if he does. That's right. We'll see if he does a scouting report. Rumor has it Cal is up to 205. Rumor has it that Cal is up to 205. And if I'm being honest, the concern for me about Callan Wood this year, his size is great, but is it going to slow him down? Is he going to lose a step?
I mean, yeah, there was talks. I talked to Callan's mom and I talked to his dad, and both of them have made fat jokes around the house to Callan. It's something to be concerned about as a fantasy owner, and I think as a league we're concerned for him. But I think Cal will be fine. He still has that spark in his step. Still pretty young. I mean, 18 years old. Perkins, what do you think about Callan Wood? I know you spent a lot of time with him.
Yeah, I know absolutely nothing about anything.
All right, hey, great insight there from Perk. Moving on to our next guy, we have Jackson Turnwald. Jackson Turnwald taking over the 6th team as a captain. This is a huge step for him in his career. And he's taking over a new franchise, just how Trevor Lawrence took on a new franchise. I love the player comparison. What are your thoughts on that, Chell?
Yeah, you see, when we were discussing this, we were thinking Trevor Lawrence for Jackson because he's got the intangibles. He's tall, he's lanky, he's just got that body type that kind of Trevor Lawrence has, but he hasn't proven it. Trevor Lawrence has some problem with accuracy, so we really we're looking for Jackson to prove it, that he is the man for the job, that he is the man to step up for this team and this franchise, the same way that Trevor Lawrence has to prove that he can play in the NFL and that he can lead a team to a championship. And so that's what we're looking for Jackson. And really, we just love that Trevor Lawrence comp. Any other thoughts on Jackson with Trevor Lawrence? So next we got Scary Jerry as Jerry Judy.
That's fitting. That's good.
That's very good.
good.
Smith, you want to go into this one a little bit?
Yeah, when I think about Jared McKinley, I think about somebody who gets the job done. You know, I think about somebody who's going to be methodical with his movement. You know, he's really an artist in his route running. Just the way that he can carve up a defense and find those holes, I think it's really good. Now, the concerns with Jerry Jeudy in the NFL has been his chemistry with his quarterback. And when you see somebody like Jared, you see a big personality. You see somebody who you either love or you hate. So it'll be interesting to see who is throwing the ball to Scary Jerry this year in the TFL. Can he fix the chemistry issue that Jerry Jeudy has with Drew Lock and now Two Gloves Teddy?
You know, and that could be Adam, where Adam comes into play. Could Adam be taking over that role? But first, but first before that, I mean, Jared, we've seen him 2 years in a row. The past 2 years, he has had John Barks as his quarterback. John Barks retires from the TFL. He's looking for a new quarterback. Who could that be? Maybe Adam.
Yeah, and, you know, all of those things said are certainly a concern. But I tell you what, when I look at a captain who I want to be drafted by, I think Jared McKinley's got to be at the top of the list. I mean, he's a guy who's going to put his body on the line for his team, and he has a win-first mentality. You know, Jerry and I, we've had some feuds in the past. Fantasy football has been cruel to us. We've got a big matchup this week. I think I pull it out. We'll see. We'll see. That's true. That's true. Yeah, not too strong in that department. Anyway, I'm thinking if I have the blessing to be paired with Scary Jerry, I really think we could be a Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison duo.
Yeah, Jared, elite manager, elite owner, would be a great guy to play under. Coming up next, we've got Gabe Kohler's good old player comp here. He's not too happy, but nobody would be happy with this one. Brandon Ayuk. So when we were kind of, think tanking this one, Gabe didn't put an input in because, he hates it. And we were thinking, Brandon Ayuk, he's flashed. He's got all the top end ability. He's super athletic. He's a bit of a bigger guy. He's about 6'2", and Brandon Ayuk, we can't trust his work ethic. We don't know if he's really hit that elite status. And it's shown this year with, being in the doghouse. And
a little bit of a cancer of a teammate.
A little bit of a cancer, yeah. And so we're just worried about Brandon Ayuk being able to be consistent at that top-end level. And with Gabe, Gabe likes to brag about, he's the best. Well, I'm guessing that's exactly what Brandon Ayuk was saying in the locker room before Debo Samuel took over and said, hold my shoes here, buddy. And so, we want to see Gabe take that next step, just like Kyle Shanahan wants to see Ayuk take that next step.
May I pose the question?
Yeah, go for it.
Is it possible that Gabe drafts his own Debo Samuel?
And who would that be?
We'll see. But is the person he drafts going to take over the team from Gabe and do what Gabe could not do on his own?
That is real tough. If he does draft the next Brandon Ayuk, then at least you've got a great player on your team. That's true. So you can't be too mad about that, but at the same time, I mean, how does it feel to be second best on your own team?
I have absolutely no words for what was just said. I think I have proven it before. I've won a championship. The criminals, we have the name for a reason. We're a bunch of menaces out there. And it's something that will be proven this year when I draft my guy in the draft. You know who you are. And he's an absolute menace. And yeah, you know what? I don't have any comment about the things that were just said, but
I know nothing.
all right.
This next player comp is Braden, and I like to think I know Braden fairly well. We do descend from the same bloodline.
Wow.
I unfortunately am not chiseled on Mount Olympus and just designed in the same way that Braden Hicks was designed. I mean, this guy truly is impeccable. His stature, impeccable. I mean, they're huge. He just is a physical specimen. And when we think about a guy who can really do it all, who's versatile, he's going to make you miss. I saw the video of him exposing Grant Norman. I don't know if that was last year or a couple years ago. But, I mean, Braden absolutely exposed Grant Norman. So we know what this guy's capable of. He can run the ball. He can catch the ball. Rumor has it he can even throw the ball. It's got to be Christian McCaffrey. I mean, you think about the guy that you want on your team, the Swiss Army knife who's going to do it all. It's got to be Christian McCaffrey. You know?
Yeah.
A short season,
Oh.
so
Oh, we'll get the mic over this
it's a short season, so the odds of him getting hurt are low. So that's good for whoever gets him. It's always a risk with CMC.
That's very true. Braden does get hurt very easily, too.
One last thing about that, too. You know, when you think about Christian McCaffrey, you think of an absolute workout machine. He is just in the weight room, just trying to be better every single day. I mean, you think about from his rookie year to his sophomore year, you saw all those pictures of Christian McCaffrey getting absolutely yoked. The man was massive. And that is Braden. He works so hard to be the best that he could possibly be, and it shows physically. And so he has to be CMC.
Yeah, that's very true, Chell. Moving on to our next guy. We have the man, the myth, legend, Timmy Touchdown. And his player comp is going to be prime Big Ben. We're going to show a picture of Big Ben, and, I mean, in his prime, he's a good-looking guy. Timmy Jordan, man, what can I say?
All-around good guy.
All-around good guy. You know, the only time I've seen him play in person...
Shaky at best.
The only time I've seen him play in person, he did kick a ball backwards. But good thing we're not kicking in the TFL. You know, he'll be throwing it. He'll be fine. But I love the comparison there.
Yeah, I think Tim is the clear and undisputed best quarterback in the TFL. He's great in the pocket. The obvious concerns are the mobility. Now Tim has worked incredibly hard in the past year, over a year now, and Tim has slimmed down, and Tim looks mighty fine.
Oh my God.
Tim looks very good. That being said, you know, there is still a little bit of worry about that first step. That first step after those crucial 5 seconds that the GOAT Brady is counting. When that clock runs down, we're gonna see what Tim's made of, and we're gonna see if he can get the ball out of his hands quick and decisively, because that's gonna be the difference for Tim Jordan. The next guy on our list is myself. I can't speak on myself.
Oh, yeah. Next guy on this list, Adam Smith here with Carson Wentz. We're talking about Philly Carson Wentz back with the ankle problems. You know, Adam, he's a fragile man. We all know this. We can see his hairline. It's receding fast. He's hurting on many levels, just like Carson Wentz is hurting on so many levels. He's got the knees, the ankles. I mean, Carson Wentz is hurting. But he's athletic. He's mobile. You know, thinking back to our days playing college football flag, he was out there making play after play with his legs and extending plays with arms, taking what he can get through the air, but really, really great with extending drives using his legs. And I expect to see that this year with TFL as long as he stays healthy. You know, Wentz is always looking at getting hurt in some way. It's like he wants to be hurt for some reason. He just got it all the time. And Adam here, breaking his ankle on live television. I mean, it was a great comp. You know, he's got some arm talent. Turnovers are a problem. He sometimes just a lapse of judgment is brutal. You know, throwing multiple interceptions in the championship game of our flag football league is worrisome. And you got to worry about that with Carson Wentz. But he's righted the ship a little bit this year, and so we can see if this is going to be moving forward. If Adam's going to play like Philly, if he's going to play pre-injury or post-injury.
Maybe we'll even see the Philly special.
Maybe a little Philly special this year. Hear from Adam.
Well, Chell, I think there definitely is some deep-rooted anger from that flag football championship that really came out there. But yeah, I agree with the Carson Wentz. I mean, Adam's ankles are terrible. Carson Wentz's ankles are terrible. Adam needs a captain that's going to believe in him. Carson Wentz needs a guy who's going to believe in him. You know, and I think all of us need guys who are going to believe in us, but Adam especially. But yeah, Perk.
Yeah, I have nothing to say about the flag football experience in college. My only experience with Adam is high school football, which is where the ankle happened. So, interception, wide open field.
Set the scene.
Easy touch. I don't know the scene. I don't care enough.
He'll set the scene.
In my defense, I did incredibly, horribly injure my ankle, you know, with a lot of open pasture in front of me for an easy pick six. That being said, there was less than 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. New Haven Bulldogs against the Belmont Braves. We are on our own 25-yard line at the time. On homecoming, if I might add. On homecoming. Okay, while I was homecoming court. I mean, look, ex-girlfriend. It did happen. Ryan Perkins. We'll get to your additions later. And I did seal the game. We were only up by a score, and that interception did seal the game. So admittedly, I may still be feeling those repercussions of that injury today in my old age. But if you want a guy, captains, who shows up in big moments, I'm your guy.
Can I get this real quick? So you said that you guys were at your own 25. Sorry, they were at your 25. They were getting ready to score, and you said it was an easy pick six. Are you telling me you are athletically capable of taking 75 yards to the house, no problem?
Capable, yes. 100%. I got the tools. Okay. Earlier we talked about those injuries, and they have had a tendency to show up at different times in my career, and this was a low spot. This was a low spot in my athletic career of any sport. Maybe the only thing worse was getting beat in a sectional tennis match against Carroll, 6-0, 6-0 in less than 30 minutes. It was really bad. So capable, yes, I did. It was a bad moment, and I accept full responsibility for that. Our next player comp here is an individual fairly close to me, my brother-in-law, Ryan Perkins. Ryan Perkins, for those of you who don't know, there were some discrepancies in the last video about discussing whether Ryan even played football or not. And I just want to let you know that Ryan and I are both insulted by that. I mean, this guy was a four-year football player. Okay, honorable mention, all conference, NHC, or NE8. Was that the NE8? It was the NE8, the Northeast 8, for those of you Blackhawk folks who never, played any real schools. But Ryan was an outside linebacker who his coaches knew his strengths and really schemed him into success. A lot of contain, holding the contain. He did a great job at. I remember a big hit he had against Leo. Guy coming out on a screen pass. Ryan just leveled him. His player comp is a prime Julio Jones. And when we think about impact players, is there anybody who has more of an impact in the peak moments of their career than Julio Jones? I mean, you got to think fantasy purposes. Mm-hmm. Fantasy
200-yard games.
200-yard games.
Yeah.
Now the concern with Julio was that he didn't find the red zone very much. Mm-hmm. And if you think about Ryan Perkins in high school, I think he only had one touchdown. And it came against a piss-poor Lakeland team. So Ryan certainly has the tools to succeed. He's big. He's got a big frame, long arms, high vertical, and he's going to be a really good route runner. But we'll see if Ryan can find the end zone.
Oh, yeah. When we talk about Perk over here, prime Julio was constantly making kids look like fools. And if we think about the most athletically gifted people in the TFL, Ryan Perkins has to be at the top of that list. That's right. I mean, he is he's up there, obviously. He can separate, playing basketball and football with him. You can tell that he's just a guy that has worked super hard to get where he's at, and he is relishing in the fact that he can make kids look dumb. Doesn't matter the sport. Could be volleyball as well. Doesn't matter. This man, put up some badminton. This guy is going to make you look silly.
Oh, I'll clap him in badminton.
Same thing with Julio Jones. He is going to make you look silly. He's going to go for 200 yards. Maybe he can't find the touchdown, but he's going to get you right down there, and you can easily score.
That's true.
Yeah, I think it's definitely evident. There's a lot of hype around Ryan. Is that hype going to get to him? We don't know. But he's definitely hyped up. I've never really seen Perk play in person. I'm not going to lie to you guys, so I don't really have a take here. But prime Julio, that's a good comparison. So let's see if Ryan can live up to it.
Yeah, my only thoughts are my completion percentage on balls that were thrown to me in high school is 100% on varsity. It was 4 for 4 my senior year. I had the ball thrown to me 4 times, and I was a starter.
Wow.
So there's that. Might not be a great stat to share, but yeah, I have that. My kids are gonna hear it one day that I caught every ball thrown to me. Highest shooting percentage on the team in basketball. I was 9 for 15 because I only shot the ball 15 times. So didn't get to see the court as much as I wanted to, or get thrown to as much as I wanted to. But I feel like when the ball comes my way, hopefully I still have it. 24, I'm getting up there, but still feel like I'll be able to hopefully embarrass some kids out on the field.
Yeah, I mean, 24. We have two 24-year-olds sitting next to 23. a lot of these rookies are coming in. You think rookie, you think young. Well, think again, because these guys are going to be the oldest. They're going to raise the league average on the team. Next player comparison is going to be Kelson Volker to Antonio Brown on the Buccaneers. Does anybody want to dive into that deeper? Yeah, I do know Kelson pretty well. The reason we put Kelson with the Bucks, Antonio Brown with the Bucks versus Antonio Brown in his prime, is because we always thought Kelson was the problem. We always thought that Kelson was the problem. It was called the Kelson curse there for a little bit. 3 years where Kelson hadn't won a single game. A single game. So, I mean, we called it the Kelson curse there for a while, but then he went and didn't lose a single game last year. Didn't lose a single game. We went 4-0. And so we think Antonio Brown with the Bucks, we thought he was the problem the whole time. He goes to the Bucks, he wins a chip. All right? So that's where we see Kelson at in his career. Anybody want to?
Yeah, I just want to add some. Kelson's like a little brother to me. Grown up, hanging out with Jason and Jaffa for a long time. Kelson's that little bro. Not only I do, little shout out to Kelson here. Not only did I baptize Kelson in the past, I'm baptizing this boy in the TFL. Though. I'm coming for you, Kelson. I'm coming for you. Throw me a 50-50 ball. I am putting you under the water, son.
If Adam's ever guarding, or Kelson's ever guarding Adam, I think that's gonna be a sight to see. Here's one of our favorite comparisons out of all of them, and we know the guy who's gonna get compared here will not see this for a while, but Israel Schumann compared to Johnny Manziel. I love the comparison. Israel, he always brings that flavor to a team, but at the same time, it can be detrimental to the team's success. And I think Israel, when you're drafting him, you're getting a lot of personality. Will that personality be gone after the military? We don't know. He could be. His hair will be gone. He'll be he'll be a whole different man after it. But does anybody else have anything they want to talk about with Israel and Johnny? Or
I think about a guy who has the tools to succeed, but has only seen glimpses of that success. You think about Johnny Manziel in college football at Texas A&M. He was one of the greatest college football players to ever play the game. That is not an understatement. Tim Tebow.
Who also
Rip. Also didn't make it. But anyway, you think about a guy who really, really succeeded at one point in time. From what I've heard about Israel, is back in the day in the TFL, Israel was a threat.
first overall pick.
Israel was a threat. He was a former first overall pick. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was Johnny Manziel also a first overall pick?
Yes.
I believe he was. And the thing about Johnny and the thing about Israel is they allow themselves to become distracted. They allow themselves to become distracted with off-field antics, and it really has made them pay on the field. Wow. They become distracted, and then they become the distraction.
Yeah. And, I think the biggest part of distraction we've seen in Israel's his career was when we were at youth group one night, and Israel said, "Guys, I have an announcement to make." And we went over to the stall, went inside the stall, videotaped Israel, and he said, I demand that I don't be playing for the Fighting Amish, the team he had loyalty to. He said, I demand that a release. He wanted to go somewhere else, and then he ended up changing his mind after talks with Braden. But I mean, this man, he's all over the place. He's going to be doing some crazy things. He's a crazy guy. Next, Lucas Turnwald to Hunter Renfrow. I love this comparison. Chell, you want to dive into this one?
Absolutely. I love this comparison. I was the one that gave Lucas this comp. Really feel like Lucas is a guy that's going to get the job done. You think of Hunter Renfrow, he is super solid. He is super consistent. He is always there for his quarterback, running those good short to intermediate routes. We feel like Lucas is going to absolutely thrive this year. If he's got good quarterback play, then he is going to be a guy that, just quietly shows up every single week and wins his teams in ball games. We really think Lucas this year might be taking a step forward, just like Hunter Renfrow is taking that step forward with Henry Ruggs. Rest in peace, making bad decisions. But you know what? Lucas is going to thrive off of somebody else's bad decisions. He's going to thrive off of bad coverage, being precise, making those good routes, and we really think Lucas might show up this year, be a great pick for his team. Anybody else? Yeah, I don't think I should take this off.
Our last one here is Ryan Chell being compared to Jack Doyle. I love this comparison. Chell knows Jack Doyle probably better than anyone as a big Colts fan. You know, they both have a lot of facial hair. Both can grow it out up top. And I just think Jack Doyle and the Chell comparison is really similar in the way they play. They're gritty. They're going to get after it. And I love it. Perk, what are your thoughts?
I have nothing.
All right.
You know, as I think about my college football career, flag football career, you know, one of my favorite targets was Ryan Chell. And if you listen to Tim Jordan talk, Tim Jordan saw Chell on a bad day where Chell sat out all season long and came out of retirement for the championship game and admittedly dropped a couple passes. It was in pregame, and then you know, Tim being our quarterback never threw the ball to Chell, which I can't say I blame him. We all knew that Chell was going to struggle that day after not playing. But let me tell you that when Chell was in it, when he was working, Chell was one of my top targets. I mean, he was playing center. He'd snap that ball, and I'd find him on 5, 10-yard outs. He's good at finding the holes in the defense. So, you know, when you think about one of Andrew Luck's favorite targets, it was Jack Doyle. He was always looking for Jack Doyle. Always. So I really think Chell might be a sleeper. I think, you know, realistically looking at the draft board, I think Chell's, you know, probably going to fall to the bottom 3. I think Chell's going to fall to the bottom 3. But let me tell you, I think it's a value pick.
Oh yeah.
I think the value of Ryan Chell at the bottom 3 picks is really, really high quality.
You know, when I think about myself, I know I'm not going to wow anybody with my athletic prowess. But I am consistent, hard worker. If you want somebody that's going to consistently find themselves open, that's me. I'm good. I'm a technician. I'm just going to be out there making play after play. You know, it's not going to be those 30-yard bombs. That's okay. That's not me. I'm not Tyreek Hill. But I'm Jack Doyle, baby. And Andrew Luck was always looking for Jack Doyle.
Always.
If you're my quarterback, always look for me.
That's strong.
Yeah, strong take there from Chell. One last thing, guys. We're going to talk about what you guys' what your guys' thoughts are going into rookie season, what your expectations are, and really where you think what place you'll have in the league this year, and what your thoughts are on what place you'll go. You know, if you're going to be in Honolulu or wherever.
I'm not sure what the Honolulu. Got it.
I think that you're going to Hawaii.
That is true. Going to be in Hawaii soon after, so it'll be a great celebration for my championship win. You know, first season of the TFL. It's where I'm looking to land, expecting to land. You know, don't really have the whole millennial mindset of I want a participation trophy, but looking to go out and win it all. Hopefully just be a part of a great team. Maybe pull a defender over to me and open up some other guys in the team. Looking forward to running some routes. It's been a little while, but excited to get out and see what I can do.
Really good.
Yeah, when I think about my rookie year, I expect to win. I expect to win each day. You know, 4-0, it's going to be there. You know, I expect our team to just gel. We are going to be putting in the extra effort. If you guys aren't putting the extra effort, don't even draft me. I do not want to be on a team that is not going to work for this. I may be a rookie, but I know how to work. I'm 23. I'm an old man over here. Got this facial hair, got this chest hair. Doesn't matter. I'm here ready to work. I expect right there, baby, right there. I expect to lead my team in catches. You know what? I think I'm going to. Not yards, maybe not air yards, but I'm going to consistently work for my team, for my captain, and for my boys.
Yeah, I think the only downside about Chell is that if we do play shirts and skins, he's still going to be on the shirts team.
That's why I think we play shorts and skins.
I mean, shorts and skins. That's a good idea. You know, all joking aside, you know, when I think about this year, if I had to give a message to the captains, it's that I'm in on whatever the vision is. I'm all in. You know, Jackson Turnwald, Jared McKinley. If you guys are thinking about it, I'm in. Rumor has it that Cal Wood is going to take Tim first overall.
He's told Tim that.
Allegedly, he's told Tim. I don't buy it. When I think about Cal, I think about somebody who loves the spotlight, who sometimes thinks that it is about them. And I think he's looking for some draft day drama. And I think he is going to overlook Tim Jordan. Bold prediction: Tim Jordan drops outside of the top 3.
Whoa.
Tim Jordan drops outside of the top 3.
Wow.
Maybe top 2. I'm gonna recant
Maybe
that.
top one.
Maybe that I'm gonna recant that. But I am sticking with Calvin Woods looking for the drama. And he's gonna pass up on Tim, ruffle everybody's feathers, and he's gonna take Ryan Perkins first overall. By the way, massive mistake. The dude's a bum. He sits at a desk at home all day long. He told me today that yesterday he worked in his underwear for 4 hours. That was today. He worked in his underwear. This is the first time he's put pants on all day. Captains, do you want somebody with that little drive in life? So look, I'm here to win. If you ain't first, you're last, and I have no intention of being last.
You know, I can say as a captain, that's really encouraging to hear all of that from you guys. I feel like the influx of talent this year is not only talent, but it's heart, it's grit, and I love what you guys are bringing to the table. It's great to get to know you guys. I think the whole league wants to get to know you guys, and I think most importantly, Brady needs to watch this video and get to know you guys because he needs to know the personalities that are going to be coming in the league, what he's got to deal with this year. Yeah. So that's going to be our episode today, folks. So thanks for being here, guys.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers to a good season.